We've talked a lot about technology and about, transceivers and transponders and removing that complexity. Sanjay, I'd like to finish up with your assessment of how this impacts the skills profile and the people and the operational models inside operators, because we at IDC believe that the role of the network administrator is fundamentally going to change in the next couple of years for them to become partners in digital transformation. So what do you see this bringing to that transformation of skills?
I think it's a three-dimensional change. You have to first obviously look at is there technology available that can converge this, what I always believed with the two sides of the track, which never met, can it converge them together and still give the feature and functionality? And good news is that technology has evolved. There was a physics issue many years back. If you go and talk to typical optical people, who came from that generation, they will have a very different approach to this convergence than if you go to the IP people, because they come from their own different worlds. And I believe this change is much bigger, because one, that you have to put these two worlds together, but then you have to also look at the other two dimensions. The second one is, what impact does it have on your operations and operational processes? And third, of course, is the competence. I think the most important one out of these three dimensions is, now you need people with this converged skills as well to go manage operating such a network, right? So hence I believe when operator is kind of looking at doing this, it has to be top down. It has to be understood that it's not only the technology, it is looking at the skills of the people, competence of the people, the organization structure, and then the operational processes. So you have to take all the three dimensions together to go embark this change. So let me give you two examples of the customers who have started the journey and are reaping the benefit. The first one is PLDT in PLDT Smart in Philippines. Their CTO knew that as they move into 5G, the biggest showstopper would be their transport. Because in 5G, you almost need to conceive a non-congested transport network, because that will become your showstopper. So what they did is they created a complete end-to-end transport for 5G, which is almost gold-plated. It's fully automated. It's got segment routing built in this architecture. So, and I think that is their step one. And step two is then migrating over their 4G traffic out to this gold-plated network, right? The second example I'll give you from India, which is Bharti, who today have two cores, one looking at IP traffic and other is enterprise traffic. But then at the aggregation layer, they converged the IP and optical. And they created a ring architecture. Why they needed to create a ring architecture? Because they used to have a lot of fiber cuts. And as a result, their resiliency was in jeopardy. So we brought in this converged technology for them, and what that meant is, after deploying this, the early results are they're seeing a saving of 40% plus in overall capex and opex. Plus, their resiliency has increased, because now with this ring architecture, the fiber cuts do not stop the service, right? So I think these are two in the making, and in both, they can start wherever you start, but then you take steps to create this end-to-end IP converged optical architecture, which is what we call routed optical network. And I believe that is the North Star for everyone, irrespective of where they make the first step.
I agree. And you're right, it is a journey, but the ultimate goal of increasing the resilience in the network, simplifying its operation, getting services out faster, and being able to scale against, unforeseen events like pandemics are really going to be what the next decade of networking is all about.